Hi, it's me again, and previously on this channel I have possibly said some negative things about the boss of the BBC, Tim Davie. This video, there's going to be more of that, but I'm also going to defend him a little bit. But I'm still going to say negative things. Of course I'm going to say no, why would I not? Let's have a look. BBC boss Tim Davie gets mega pay rise despite MasterChef and Glastonbury scandal. That could be a very long headline if they wanted to list all the scandals, couldn't it? But yeah, he's getting a bit more money. Now have a look at this and we'll discuss it, but have a look. BBC boss Tim Davie has earned himself a huge pay rise, despite the scandals engulfing the broadcaster. The Beeb is currently facing a backlash over its handling. Yeah, we know about that. I'm not going to talk about that here. In the past 12 months, the man at the helm has enjoyed a substantial pay rise from £527,000 in 23 to 24 to £547 in 24 to 25. So 20 grand. He's had a 20 grand pay rise. Percentage-wise, not massive, is it? I don't do percentages, but it's not a massive percentage pay rise, is it? But 20 grand's 12. Someone gave me a 20 grand pay rise. But then if I was earning 527 quid, 20 grand wouldn't even touch the sides. Wouldn't pay for my packed lunch for the year. It would not. Anyway. BBC chair, Dr. Samir Shah, defended the rise. Well, he would, because he's a BBC enthusiast, and said his pay has been frozen since 21, and I think that it's reasonable. There is little doubt that Tim's pay is significantly under the going rate. And here is the rare occurrence, the very rare occurrence, and probably the only thing I would ever defend Tim Davie for. So I think you can compare what he does roughly to the boss of ITV and roughly to the boss of Channel 4. So let's have a look what they earn, right? So Carolyn McCall, boss of ITV, in 2024, her pay rose and her total package nearing, ready, sitting down, £4.1 million. See, Tim? See, Tim Davie. If you just show adverts on the BBC and follow what ITV do, you too, sir, you too could be earning 4 million quid a year. Lovely. Just show some ads. Show some ads. I mean, I would like to earn £500,000 quid a year. I'd be very, very happy indeed on £500,000 quid a year. But if I knew that just by switching my business model slightly, I could earn 4 million, I'd be doing it tomorrow. But no, Tim's not going to do that. Anyway, that marked the highest salary for an ITV CEO in a decade, surpassing figures not seen. So Adam Crozier earned more than that, did he? That's interesting, isn't it? Anyway, Channel 4, Alex Mahon, don't know. 23, 22, 1.49 million. And in 23, which seems to be the latest numbers that AI is going to generate for me, her earnings dropped significantly by a third, which is interesting. So she was getting paid 1.4, and then it dropped to 993 grand, but she got a bonus of 247 as a little topperoonie. Just top that up a little bit. So anyway, I don't care what they earn because they earn their own money. I've got no problem at all. I'm not having a dig at all for Alex Mahon or Carolyn McCall at all. Good for you. I wish I could earn that kind of money. You obviously earn it. You obviously probably deserve it. And your companies who pay you that money earn their own money, unlike the BBC. But it has to be said that he is underpaid in the industry. He could, if Carolyn McCall retires or something, he could move across to ITV tomorrow and get a lot more money. So the only thing I'll ever defend Tim Davie on is he doesn't get that big a salary in the grand scheme of things. I mean, $500,000 to us would be in Barbados, wouldn't we? But to him, he's probably still struggling. So we're back to Samir Shah. If you look at the figures, trust levels have gone up. If you look at the report, the actual performance of the BBC has been exceptional. Has it? Has it, Samir Shah? Okay. I managed to find some statistics that weren't generated by ChatGPT for once. Share of the population who use BBC TV services each week in the United Kingdom from 2015/16 to 23/24. So if we look at the beginning, you will see that 71.8% of the population in 15 accessed BBC One, down to 50%, which still seems suspiciously high. 50%. I know that these statistics aren't everyone in the entire country. You know, they've probably come from, what's that thing, Barb or whatever it is. They've probably come from around there, haven't they? So it's scaled up. And the kind of people who register to have their viewing habits monitored aren't necessarily people like me who live on streaming and stuff like that. They're more sort of traditional people. So take it with a pinch of salt, but it does show graph go down. And BBC Two started at 46.1%, down to 32%. So what was it that Samir Shah just said? If you look at the report, the actual performance of the BBC has been exceptional. In his annual report, released yesterday, Mr. Davey said the BBC will only survive if it learns from the mistakes of a very turbulent year. The Director General wrote, "It was important the BBC took full responsibility over the catalogue of failures." It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you take full responsibility over the 2024 and 25 catalogue of failures. And how can you have a catalogue just in those 2 years? It goes back a lot further than that. And there's going to be more in the future. So what's the point of taking responsibility for them? There's just going to be more. It's just going to be more, isn't it? An independent review of the BBC's workplace culture, which I am working on a video for, produced a series of recommendations which were accepted in full. I don't know. Does he not seem a bit out? I know he doesn't earn as much as the others, but it's probably because he doesn't deserve it. Does he not seem a bit out of his depth? I'm not seeing any big change. Whenever I do speak to people, I'm in the pub or I'm around families, and inevitably people start talking about telly. It's just life, isn't it? Very rarely are people saying, "I saw this thing on the BBC, you should give it a go." Or they start talking about a big show, and I've never heard of it because I don't really watch telly, do I? I say, "What channel's that on then?" They never say, "Oh, it's BBC." It's always, "Oh, it's on Netflix, or it's on Amazon, or it's on ITV, or Channel 4, or something." I just never one of the big shows that people talk about is on the BBC. Not the people. It's rare, isn't it? Does he not seem a bit out of his depth? He's not. Viewing figures are going down. He's not moving with the times because he still wants to tax people rather than looking at other funding methods. I'm sure there's stuff going on behind the scenes for that. Or maybe there's not. Maybe they have already secured a deal with the government for the 2027 Charter Review where they know they're going to get cemented money for the next 10 years again, and they don't have to look at it. Maybe. I don't know. But he just seems a bit out of his depth. Nothing's changing. There's still scandals going on. There's still ridiculous expense accounts. There's still loads of problems all over it. And he's cutting output. What is he doing? What is he doing? So whilst his salary might be low compared to, other people in similar positions, does it seem like he's earning it? Does it seem like he's earning it? What was his salary now? Let's work that out in TV license. It's £547,000. £547,000 divided by £174.50. That's 3,134 television licenses that have to be paid in order to cover his salary. 3,134. Small town. A small town. Maybe you live in a small town. Imagine every household in that town is paying the TV licence fee so that Tim Davey can keep his job. For what? What is he doing with that money? So I did start off by saying I was gonna put him down a bit, but I was also going to defend him a bit, and I think I covered those bases. And I just spotted this bit in here. Asked why he hasn't resigned over the many scandals, Davey said, "It's certainly been a tough period, and there have been some tough days. And this job is not one you take if you want a quiet life or a stress-free existence. I simply think I'm in a place where I can work to improve dramatically the BBC and lead it in the right way. And I say that on a number of fronts." When are you going to start then? When are you going to start? We're seeing nothing of this. Mr. Davey. Not that I care. Run it into the ground. Happily, please do. Run the BBC into the ground. Show 24-hour repeats. Because the more you run it into the ground, the less people are going to pay the TV licence fee. And the quicker you can all go away and you can go and get your job elsewhere for 4 million quid a year, Mr. Davey. Not that you probably earn that either. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for watching. Way down and leaving your comment, hit all the buttons and everything as well. So if you do all that, hopefully I'll see you in another video again soon, won't I? Ta-da.